So today's video is one of those stories that's almost so crazy that I can't really even explain to you like how crazy it was to me, like through commentating it. And I was actually walking down the street yesterday and I was looking up at this house that has this really tall tree in their front yard, and it literally brought me back. Like I was just like in a flashback in my mind, like, oh my gosh, I just remembered this story. I need to make a YouTube video about this. So this story took place back when I was doing shenanigans, back when I was pissing in mailboxes and lighting streets on fire. I have a whole commentary about that story. If you guys are interested, I'll have a link in the description. But back when I used to do stupid things like that, this was one of those nights where we were walking around doing nothing, picking up those, lights that recharge with the sun that are out like by people's driveways, throwing them up in the streets. I'll put a picture on screen of what I'm talking about. And I remember specifically this one night we had a joint lit walking down the street like 3 in the morning. It was fucking awesome. I was getting stony baloney because, I had no tolerance back then. And my buddy didn't really have that much of a tolerance. I mean, it was more than I did, definitely. He used to get not as high as I used to, but my friend and I were definitely so fucking baked walking down the street, having the time of our life. And it was really chill because the area that we were walking in was kind of like a neighborhood area. Nobody really gave a fuck about kids walking down the street at 3 in the morning. There's definitely areas of my town where if you were to, people would like call the cops and stuff, but the area that we were in was really chill. I have to say, like looking back on that, is definitely some of the chillest 3 a.m. smoke sesh walks I'll ever have. But this specific day, like I said, we had a joint lit and we were about halfway through it, and we're at the end of this street walking up towards this house that I was talking about, that I was walking by yesterday. And the friend that I was with was really, really big into climbing trees. Really big into climbing trees, man. Like, I remember he called me one time, and he's like, dude, I'm so high right now. And I was like, okay, really, you called me just to tell me that, man? Like, that's cool, dude. You wanna get high? And he's like, nah, dude, I'm really high right now. And I'm like, all right, man, do you want to smoke weed or something? Like, what are you trying to say? And he's like, nah, dude, come in my backyard. And I'm like, all right, man. All right, like thinking I'm gonna go over there and smoke weed, thinking he was just fucking with me the entire conversation. I go over there. This motherfucker is like 100 feet up in this tall ass tree, like not even a tree that you could climb on. It's not 100 feet, obviously. I'm not a fucking tree expert over here. But it wasn't one of those trees that have a bunch of limbs, a bunch of branches that you could climb up easily. Dude, this motherfucker like shimmied his way up like the tallest tree you can possibly imagine. And he's just perched up there like a fucking bald eagle. Like I could almost see an American flag glistening in the sun. And I'm sitting there at the bottom like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he's like, oh, just chilling, bro. Like we literally had to like yell to hear each other. I have no idea why. He was so high up in a tree. So he gets a couple pictures and he asked me to take a couple pictures. I just got way off topic from this story. I have to apologize. So getting back to the original night, we're walking down the street smoking the joint, 3 a.m. Get you back into that setting. I just wanted to give you context that this kid was a crazy motherfucking climber. We're walking up to this house, and like I said, there was a very tall tree in their front yard. So he gets the smart idea. He's like, yo, grab my phone, take a picture of me up here. And I was like, all right, I'll take a picture of you, man. And I had no idea what he was about to do. I had literally not a clue. And I see him literally start creeping into this person's front yard. Like, this is literally trespassing. He goes into their front yard. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? And I'm standing on the other side of the street, kind of sketching out, because at this point, like, I was right underneath a street lamp. Street lamp. What the fuck am I talking about? A street light. And I was kind of, like, spooked out, because definitely was in sight. If someone came out of their house and saw me standing there at, like, 3:30, that would have been a little sketchy. I mean, walking around's not that bad, but just standing there, just in the middle of the fucking road. So I was getting kind of spooked. So I'm watching my friend go over to this giant tree. I hear a bunch of fucking rustling, like he's climbing it. And I'm kind of just getting nervous, like, dude, don't fall, dude. Like, that would fucking suck. Like, this tree is really tall. And he's like halfway up, and I'm like, I didn't want to like talk to him. So I'm like, dude, you alright, bro? And I was like, I kind of tried to say it as loud as I could, but not really loud because like I wasn't trying to wake anybody up, man. It was really late. But then he like didn't say anything. All I heard is him climbing, and I was like, alright, I'm just going to let him do his thing. And then he gets all the way to the top. And I'm going to show a picture on screen of exactly how tall this fucking tree is, man. He was all the way at the top. And I'm like, dude, there's no way you're all the way up there. And he took out a lighter and lit the lighter all the way at the top. Kind of where, on the picture, it kind of like looks like, it was almost like a clearing at the top. He was all the way up there, man. But the story doesn't stop there, guys. This is where it gets unbelievably crazy. So I'm like, all right, dude, I got a picture. The picture didn't really show anything because phones suck at night. But he's starting to climb down, and I'm nervous as fuck, dude. I'm almost shaking because I'm just like, dude, this I don't want him to fall out of the tree. And about halfway down the tree, I hear, oh shit! And then he's just like sliding, just like branches breaking, and he's fucking, there's pine cones flying all over the place. And then I just hear like a halt. And I'm like, dude, are you okay, man? And he's like, yeah, I fucked myself up, but I'm okay. And then I just hear him climbing down, and he comes over to me, and he's like fucking ragged, man. His sweatshirt's got a giant hole in it. He's bleeding on his hands. It was bad, but he came over to me, and he was all right. It was just like he got a little shooken up, and he's like, dude, that was fucking close. And he turned around and he showed me the hole in his sweatshirt, and like I still have the sweatshirt. I don't know where it is, but I have the sweatshirt somewhere. There's literally just like a gigantic hole in the side of the sweatshirt. And whenever I used to go to like school with weed or something, I used to just put it in there. It was pretty convenient. But it's really funny because that's the backstory of the hole in the sweatshirt, is him climbing this big ass tree and almost falling to his death at 3 in the morning while we were high as fuck walking down the street. It was really fun. It was a crazy experience, and I for sure wanted to make it into a video. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any crazy stories like this, you climbing something really tall, almost falling, something like that. I'm sure some of you guys have stories about that. So yeah, guys, hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed. You guys have been killing it with the likes lately. I gotta thank you for that. Check the links in the description, like my Twitter and all that, if you guys want to follow me on social media. Stay high, stay lifted. Peace.